Hello, Aries. Kapualani here with your girl and her moon. Virgo full moon lunar eclipse reading. So, Aries, let's dive in and see what we see here. Spirit, what's coming through for Aries this Virgo full moon lunar eclipse? What is the message for Aries? Thank you. All right. We need to hear from the universe. Aries. Okay, so things are looking up. You should be feeling the energies picking up. If you're not already kind of sensing it, the vision is coming together, and as it said with the Three of Wands, the ships are coming in. So stay optimistic about what you're working toward. Continue to put your best foot forward, but pace yourself because there's no rush, right? We don't want to burn out before we get to those docks to meet the ships. And so, again, I'm hearing inspiration and a sense of excitement, okay, pursuing your passion in your day to day. And you know what I mean? The day to day, rather, should be feeling exciting, should be feeling optimistic, it should be feeling pretty inspired. All right. Okay, so let's see what this cycle is bringing into your awareness. Choices and options, finding your balance in a way, staying focused on remaining steady, because I feel like at this point you understand that whatever it is that you're working toward in the bigger picture, that it is something that's going to develop over time. Pentacles here, right? But you can't help but feel excited with that Three of Wands because it's like it's so close. It's actually, this is happening, right? Whatever it is that you're going to be developing, that's materializing, that is becoming real, it's like you can almost taste it, right? You're starting to, it's like you can smell the aroma of it. And so again, this lunar cycle, Two of Pentacles, a bit of balance and focus that's being called for. There might be some travel or movement involved. There may be thoughts, contemplations of travel, relocation, but ultimately really exploring the choices, and decisions that you're making in the day to day. The choices that you're making in the day to day are having those lasting impact, right? Is having that lasting impact, I should say, excuse me. All right, what are you revisiting? What are you also sort of releasing? Yeah, this is six, that energy of six, I should say, with the Lovers, expansion. um so you see, you've already landed with the Lovers, and with the major arcana. They're really exciting when you see them, right? But in this case, with that Lovers energy, not that it's like a downer or anything at all. Um, but it's something that we're working towards, something that we're holding space to also become. And this is something that you've already done. So you've already expanded. There's a decision that may have already been made about what your next moves are, or at least what that vision, the goal, the bigger goal that you're heading toward, right? And so again, the Three of Wands is just another validation that it's materializing, it's landing, it's becoming more real because this is in your day to day. All right, so let's get you some advice now. Six of Pentacles. That's why I said six. Wow, Six of Pentacles. There it is. Yeah, again, things are materializing. I'm happy for you. The effort that you put in based on certain choices that you've made, and however you have shifted gears in terms of pacing yourself, okay, you're seeing those, the sacrifices or the efforts. You're starting to see the gains, you're starting to see what it was all for. Okay, there's things that are materializing, and even to a degree relationships and connections are becoming a bit more solidified. Like for example, I can see how for some people, connections that you made in the past, that it may have been like at a mixer, or just through mutual whatever, like, okay, yeah, just, you never know, da, 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 da. Now the time has come where there's an not that there wasn't a purpose before, but something tangible to lock that connection in. There's some type of a collaboration. That's what I meant to say. All right, so let's see next. What sort of vacation is your soul craving here? Yeah. Four of Swords. You're just ready to chill, take it easy. I love this with the lamb in your Aries energy, sheep ram. um just chill and breathe. Yeah, your mind can be at ease, no anxiousness, just a cool as a cucumber is kind of what I wanted to say. um but I feel overall this should be a very welcoming energy for you, Aries. So I hope that this reading as always resonates. Don't forget to check out your other aspects: moon, rising, you know how I flow, Venus, north node, all the things, whatever. And visit with us, of course, to schedule your consultation, girlonthemoon.com, for a 45-minute live or a pre-recorded. But have a blessed Virgo full moon lunar eclipse. Hello, Taurus. How are you? Kapualani here with your girl and her moon. Virgo full moon lunar eclipse. So let's do this, Taurus. So Spirit, what's coming through for Taurus this Virgo full moon lunar eclipse? I mean, talk about a mouthful. Whenever it's eclipse season, right? Okay. You know, something, it's funny. I heard patience. So I don't know if that resonates or you need to hear that, Virgo, but I mean, Virgo, Taurus, a Virgo full moon. All right, your message from the universe. What does Taurus need to hear, Spirit? Eight of Cups. It's time to, okay, whatever confusion that you had, or if it's not confusion, at least a lack of clarity around what where to place your focus next. Like, what brings you happiness, what brings you fulfillment. It's kind of like, I have all of this stuff but none of it makes me happy. I'm yeah, I've got food and da, 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 but it's not really connecting to my palate. You know what I mean? It's not the water's not quenching the thirst, or the drink's not quenching the thirst. The food is not fulfilling the appetite. And not that you can't eat enough, but it's something about, with the Eight of Cups, as we know, right? It's just, it's over. We're not fulfilled anymore, and so there's permission to move on. So this is your permission to move on. Long story short, Taurus. So yeah, and with that, I feel that the clearer message is giving yourself that permission to move on. Okay. You may have been loyal to something, to someone, to a job, and just kind of like, okay, well, this is the universe's way of saying, hey, don't worry, go ahead and do the job search. Nobody's telling you to leave the job and then go searching for a new one. You know what I'm saying? But the relationship will go into a whole other thing with integrity here. But where at least where something like where work or your own personal choices are concerned, this is your time to just see what's out there, what's really connecting for you on a fulfillment level, okay, on a heart level. So what's being brought into your awareness? That being said, Taurus, look at that. Seven of Wands. Okay, so slow down a little bit where you might be feeling, I don't know why I was going to say hot-footed. I don't know why I was going to say that, because with the Seven of Wands, while this is an energy that is very much conducive to saying, hey, you like push through, assert yourself, stand up for yourself, make your voice be heard. Yes, that is true. Eight of Cups. So, don't hesitate to fight for something that you believe in, something that does speak to you, connect to you, and be prepared. Go into it prepared, because one of the things to remember with the Seven of Wands is that there's this essence of urgency or being in a hurry. And so we think about the Seven of Wands, traditionally the person's all disheveled, and it's like, all right, let's just kind of collect ourselves. So what are you potentially revisiting? Okay, so yeah, what did I say? Pace yourself. Okay, Son of Pentacles, and persist. Persistence is key here, as well as not getting too zoomed in to the details that you're losing sight of what it is that you're trying to accomplish. All right, so a bit of balance in that regard with the Knight of Pentacles in mind. Okay, so as it said, that I say at least with the Knight of Pentacles, what is that saying? That don't lose sight of the forest for the trees or something like that. Don't get lost among the trees for the forest, something like that, right? So let's get you some advice for a smooth cycle here. Nine of Cups. Yeah, focus on your joys. I love this. From the Eight of Cups to the Nine of Cups. Focus on what does bring you joy. Focus on what, how you independently, in a very practical day to day way, can experience joy and fulfillment. And again, ask yourself what does bring you joy and fulfillment at this point. Okay, because that may be something that is a revisit. That may be part of what you are reflecting on or reviewing, because nine energy is we're looking back, right? So let's see, what sort of downtime is your soul craving? Hermit. Okay, so double nines here. And interesting 7, 8, 9 vibes, taking things slowly for sure, staying inward, tending to your inner flame. And there's something here also about perhaps possibly protecting your own intelligence, your thoughts, your ideas, your plans, taking a moment to just kind of keep to yourself hermit, as it were, to strategize, to reflect, going inward. Of course, this is that soul search energy here. So and it is also again pacing oneself, as I said earlier, so taking things slowly, looking at the bigger picture and not being in a rush, being in that space where slow and steady wins the race. All right. So Taurus, don't forget to check out your other aspects, your rising moon, North Node Venus, whatever speaks to you. And of course, we're here for you, girlundermoon.com, for 45-minute live or pre-recorded session. So have a beautiful and blessed Virgo full moon lunar eclipse. Hello, Gemini. Kapualani here with your girl and her moon. Virgo full moon lunar eclipse reading, Gemini. So let's see what we see. Spirit, what's coming through for Gemini this Virgo full moon lunar eclipse? Thank you. All right, your message from the universe. Sorry, I just said this phrase for Taurus, so please forgive me. Gemini, this is your reading, but the phrase that came through is slow and steady wins the race. So, that being said, I also get that this may be time for you to get hands on. So if you've been contemplating, if you've been researching, planning and plotting and all that kind of thing, strategizing, this is going to be the time to get hands on, all right, and start to put plans into action. But it's slow and steady here. There's no rush, but it's taking the step. Okay, we're working toward the goal, whatever it is that you have your heart, your mind, your efforts set toward. You're going to accomplish it. All right. So okay, what will this cycle be bringing to your awareness? Gemini, nine. What brings you happiness? What brings you joy? Nine of Pentacles. It's also going to give you the sense, or at least the, I hope that this resonates for you. I hope it all resonates. Um, but I feel like with this Nine of Cups here, it's really a sense of knowing how much in control you actually are of your own happiness, of making yourself happy type thing, because it's as it said, right? We can't make anyone happy um before, we have to be happy with ourselves type thing, right? That kind of thing. Not that we're not going to put the effort into making somebody happy, but anyway, you get what I'm saying, Gemini. But yeah, what's bringing you joy and happiness, and maybe even the fact that, hey, you know what? Life is pretty good as it is. That doesn't mean that you're not working toward more. You are. Nine of Cups, but we can downshift a little bit. We don't have to rush toward the happiness. It's happening. All right. So, what are you potentially revisiting? Seven of Cups. Yeah, distortion, illusion, confusion. What are my options here? What does make me happy? I don't really know. I want too many things all at once, but then I have to only pick one thing. Maybe part of it also with the Seven of Cups was also realizing that you can always change your mind, that there are options that are available to you. So again, if the one that you pick is like, oh, okay, maybe I don't know. Yes, you have the choice. You have the ability to try something else. All right. So it's knowing that there are options available to you. Simplify. You don't have to do everything all at once, or enjoy every, you know what I'm trying to say? Like gorge yourself, because sometimes with that Seven of Cups, it's intoxication, illusion. We may be overdoing or underdoing things because we're overwhelmed by our choices and options. But it's also, again, we're shifting into looking at this energy as an opportunity. We're like, wow, look at all the options that are available to me, rather than, oh my gosh, look at all these options available to me. You know what I mean? So let's get you some advice for a smooth lunar eclipse, full moon. Four of Swords. Okay, so yeah, breathe easy, let your mind be at ease. Okay, get out of your mind, you chill, rest easy. I'm not going to make it any more complicated than that. All right. What sort of vacation is your soul craving? Six of Pentacles. So you would like, I don't know why, but I'm hearing like some reciprocity. You'd like to see the developments. You are in this Knight of Pentacles mode of, again, as I said in the very beginning, slow and steady wins the race. And so that being said, all right, cool. I'm like, I like seeing what is developing before my eyes, which is why we have these energies of being at ease. There's something here. I don't know why, but I'm for someone at least, there's an emphasis on this being the Virgo full moon. So for those of you perhaps that have Virgo in your chart, maybe there's something there about you really checking that. I mean, for anybody, of course, but this is the message that I'm getting specifically for you, Gemini. So yeah, if you're listening, you got Virgo in your chart, maybe look into that a little bit. But otherwise, I kind of get this feeling of smooth sailing. I also feel like like if you have been working on clearing from, I don't want to say bad habits, but just like I said, with the seven, the part where the Seven of Cups can touch into the shadowy aspects of intoxication, illusion, overwhelm, confusion, that sort of thing. That's where we like this Four of Swords, because the mind is now being able to be put at ease. Okay, we're not overwhelmed anymore. We understand what it is very simply and truly. We know what direction things are heading in, so it's almost like you can put whatever it is on autopilot. So that's nice. So Gemini, don't forget, check out your other aspects: rising, moon, Venus, North Node, all the things. And schedule a session with us. We're here for you, girlonthemoon.com, for 45-minute lives or pre-recorded. Have a blessed one. Hello, Cancer. Kapualani here with your girl and her moon. Virgo, full moon, lunar eclipse. Say that 10 times fast. Got a little flippers here. Look at that. Nine of Cups, 10 of Swords, Two of Cups. Are you spinning your wheels? Whether it's about, I mean, I would just kind of naturally say love, to be honest here, because that's what came to mind when I saw this. Um, for someone out there, especially for those in relationship or even those who are single, okay, where there may be some spiraling around relationship desires, not just wants and needs. Yes, wants and needs, but desires. So whether you're in a relationship or not, Cancer, that may be something that's coming up for you at this time. So focus on, I wanted to say simplifying, but really it's like I'm just thinking about that Nine of Cups, the two, the Two of Cups, that Ten of Swords. Breathe. Where you've been spinning your wheels, that's going to come to an end. Um, and rather than looking at facts, info, the black and white, go into your heart. If there's something that you're trying to decide on in terms of what brings you happiness and fulfillment, that's what it is. So even if it's like, well, I'm not really thinking about relationship stuff right now, Kapualani, then it's the Nine of Cups is the wishes and fulfillment. So where you are overwhelmed about that stuff or feeling like, is it even going to happen? Is it ever going to happen? How do I make this happen? Two of Cups, go into your heart. Very basic. All right. So, anyway, Spirit, thank you for that. Cancer. What's going to do for Cancer? Here we go. All right. Your message from the universe. What do you need to hear? Pursue Knight of Wands, take the action, do the thing. Don't be afraid, don't hold back. All right. With the Knight of Wands, there's movement that often comes through with knights in general. And in this case, it's swift action. So you may be feeling very inspired. You may be feeling just, kind of like restless. And maybe you're feeling like you need to get up and get out a bit. Wander a bit. I don't know, travel possibly, or a little bit of a road trip, go for a drive. But moving your energy more than anything, your creative energy is feeling very fired up with this Knight of Wands that I'm seeing for you, Cancer. So let's see what's being brought into your awareness. That being said, yeah, Nine of Pentacles. So maybe you're feeling like hot stuff right now, Cancer. Okay. Maybe you're feeling like there's you're feeling like some hot stuff, like I said. And even with that Nine of Cups, so there's a reflection here about the good that you are surrounded by, that you are able to manifest and co-create for yourself. You should be feeling pretty confident right now and capable, and very close to really locking in those goals, because Nine of Pentacles, one step away from Ten of Pentacles, right? When we have the Nine of Pentacles, is a step away from Queen of Pentacles, from Empress mode. So what are we revisiting here? This cycle. Look at that, the sun. Look at you, Cancer. Hello. There's definitely clarity, connection to the present moment, being present to the moment. Like I said, with this halo fired up, you know what you want. Okay. And if you say like, oh really, Kapualani, do I know what I want? If you're sitting here in confusion, Cancer, then this is your sign to not deny the truth, because it's telling me that the truth has already been revealed. Okay. And the way forward has become clear. Like what to do has become clear. You already know, or at least it's being shown to you. And oh my gosh, I gotta the Tower. Okay, this is advice for a smooth full moon lunar eclipse. The Tower, do the thing, take the action. The Tower is working in your favor, so be open to surprises, be open to changes, big time. This also speaks to the activation of that lunar new year, the fire horse, year of the fire horse, and all of the things, right? On that one sacred day, all those sacred events happening all on that one sacred day, and that lunar that kicked off. And so this is a match to that. Look at these fiery energies coming through for you, Cancer. Very much action oriented from a position of empowerment. Okay, and clarity and knowing what you want. Look at you, Cancer. Hello, you're like on fire here. So let's look at what sort of vacation or downtime your soul's craving here. Yeah, there's the Cancer water. There we go. I know that's Towers is Scorpio, but this very soft, playful, cuddly is what I said. Daughter of Cups, Page of Cups. So good times, laughter, opening to new. There's positive surprises here for some. There may be some really good news coming through, unexpected positive news. Maybe this is something that you had some clarity on before, but now you're kind of seeing. You're getting like more of the. I don't know why, but I'm hearing something about a welcoming mat. So I don't know if there's going to be a new relationship. For some, maybe you're conceiving or giving birth, that type of thing. It's something unexpected. I feel like there's new life. This is very exciting, very much conducive to whatever this tower is. It's something that will bring fulfillment. This is new emotional experiences here with the Page of Cups. Man, look at you, Cancer. I feel overall, this should, again, I'm sorry, I just keep saying this more, it should be exciting. And I feel like, especially where you've been really wanting to open up to feeling like just able to breathe and whatever, um to really have a validation that the year's going to get better. I don't know why, but somebody needs to hear this. If you've been looking for validation, that's like the year's going to get better, or you know what I mean? I know we're still in the beginning part of it. Then let this be your sign. Okay. So, Cancer, check out your other aspects, your lunar. I'm sorry, your yeah, your moon, lunar, your moon, your rising, your Venus North nodes, and schedule your session with us. We're here for you, girlonthemoon.com, 45-minute lives or pre-recorded. But have a blessed lunar cycle. Hello, Leo. How are you? Kapualani here with your girl and her moon. Virgo full moon lunar eclipse. All right. Let's slow down when I say that sometimes because I feel like I'm just kind of it's all going to become a blur. All right. So spirit, what's coming through for Leo? This lunar eclipse, this Virgo full moon. Thank you, spirit. Thank you, Leo. So what's coming through for Leo? Thank you, spirit. All right. Let's get your message from the universe first up. Leo, what do you need to hear? Father of Pentacles. The phrase that came to mind was take charge. And standing in your power, showing up. And sometimes when I see the King of Pentacles, I hear like the phrase taking care of business. This is about how you're presenting yourself. This is about being responsible with your finances, with your work, with the day to day. Okay, so there's something here about tending to the physical in terms of whatever it is that you're building. This could also deal with planning and strategizing and making sure that I'm hearing like polishing up your plans and strategies for the future if there are things that you've already been working on. If you feel good about them, then this is that time for implementation. All right. As it aligns and resonates with kings, they're not going to get up and off that throne for no reason. They want to guarantee, okay, because they have responsibilities here. So that's part of it is that if you are going to spend money or do something, make sure that it is a clear match to your goals, to the goals, the values, whatever it is that you say that you align with, the goals that you say that you're working toward, the life that you say that you're wanting to live. Make sure that that is a clear match. Okay. So what will be brought into your awareness? The Hierophant. Okay, so there's definitely something here. Okay, with we have the Taurus energy of the Hierophant. Maybe starting something up. Are you starting up a business? Are you needing, have you been working on something and now is the time to launch? Perhaps, so this is a clear sign and validation. Um, Whatever plans or goals you've been working toward, uh, don't hesitate to implement. Okay, this is the implementation time. This could be a time, there may be further research for whatever reason. When I'm seeing the Hierophant, um, whether this deals with, now I'm predominantly looking at career, business, um, and it could trickle or relate to house and home because that could deal with contracts and having to deal with, like, if you're thinking about moving, relocating, purchasing, whatever the case may be, there's something here that's going to deal with your everyday finances or your everyday decisions and responsibilities. But it's about, I don't know, there's a bigger projection in terms of your outlook. And maybe I feel also this could be about like going back and forth, like when you do research, right? If you are, let's say, apartment hunting, you're going to contact that community or show up and tour the place first. So that's what I mean about research. There's something about like R&D possibly. So what are you revisiting? Your hopes, your dreams, your bigger goals. For some, this could be continuing to, okay, so there's things about whatever you have been holding space for previously, it's starting to materialize. Okay. There are things that are going to be starting to materialize here. Um, So the stuff that maybe once upon a time were just these thoughts, ideas, possibilities that you were holding space for, it's starting to become possible. Whether it's from timing or resources, your skill sets, whatever the case may be. Like, let's just say you were getting certified for something and you were an apprentice for something. Now you are at the professional mode. You're ready to launch. You're ready to be self established or whatever it is. Okay. Um, so yeah, I like what we're seeing here because what you've been working toward, again, you are now empowered to bring it into reality, or it is being brought into reality. Okay, something is manifesting here. Let's get you some advice for a smooth full moon lunar eclipse here. Seven of Pentacles. Be clear about who, what, where you are investing your time, energy, and value into. Okay. So yeah, that's where the responsibility aspect comes through. This is where the not giving up, continuing to just show up and put the effort out there. Because the Seven of Pentacles also reminds us that we're 70% of the way there. And while, on one hand, because of the position also that this is in, you can really start to feel good. Rather, you may not quite be at that level of development that it's like, all right, now I can really feel like this is it. But you're clear. Okay, you're recognizing that things are taking shape. So, what's also going to benefit you is to use this time to get organized. Okay, use this time to line things up, tend to your garden, weed things out, pare down where it makes sense. Don't just throw everything. What does I say? They don't throw the baby out with the bathwater type thing. Gosh, don't I know it? So you don't want to go too extreme. And that's where it's again, we have a little bit of luxury of using this time to reflect and also kind of say what's working, what's not working, what adjustments can we make here. Okay. All right. What type of vacation is your soul craving? Nine of Swords. Yeah, you want a little bit of a mental break. Okay, you want to breathe. Maybe you haven't been sleeping well and you're wanting some sleep. The benefit of this Knight of Swords, because this is like, what is your soul craving? What is downtime? What is needed here? Okay, is give yourself a little bit of a break. Focus on what's right in front of you. Let's get physical, tactile, taking care of business and getting physical here. Sorry for those who get the reference and those who don't. Just look up the songs. Um, but yeah, this Nine of Swords is putting your mind at ease and not having to feel like you made a bad decision, not having to stress about what was or what will be. And I feel like, for the most part, how should I put this? Spirit, let's give a closing message here with this Nine of Swords. Yeah, you just want, so this is like, get out of your head and just focus on the task at hand. Okay, let's not make it a mental thing. Let's just show up. That's all that needs to be said. But Leo, don't forget to check out your other aspects, your rising moon, Venus, north nodes, and also schedule your session with us. We're here for you, girlonthemoon.com, for a live 45-minute or pre-recorded. You know what to do. Have a blessed Virgo full moon lunar eclipse. Leo, till next time. Virgo, what is up? This is your full moon. I am Kapualani, and we're here with your girl on our moon. Virgo, full moon, lunar eclipse reading. All right, we got a jumper, Ace of Pentacles. Virgo, hey, so we're planting a new seed. All right, we're focusing on opening up to a new cycle and building something. So what are you building? What are you holding space for, Virgo? But Spirit, let's see what's coming through for Virgo again. This Virgo full moon lunar eclipse. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Virgo. All right. Your message from the universe, what you need to hear. The road is open, Virgo. Stay inspired. And as I always say with the Two of Wands, world in the palm of your hand. So question, what are you going to do about it? So your best bet with this Two of Wands in mind is focusing on the present, being right here, right now, and staying fired up and inspired about the here and now. Okay. We're not worried or focused about tomorrow, the future, whatever. Okay, this is more about showing up and understanding that it's in the actions that we take here and now, and the attitude that we bring to the table here and now are what's going to really sort of brighten things up and line things up for where we are ultimately heading, what's going to influence the journey, right? So what's being brought into your awareness? That being said, your attitude, ego, Six of Wands, and not just that, but with the Six of Wands, what are those words? Victory and success that we see here. Yeah, I feel like you're a leader in your own way. Okay, and I feel that this is also like, how should I put this? noticing who you're surrounded by, because the company that you keep, it may also influence you, and I think to some degree you really get that, Virgo. And so make sure that the people who you are sharing your good news with or surrounding yourself by, make sure that they're really cheering you on. Okay. And not that I'm getting any kind of weird vibes on that for you, but I just, it's just what's coming through. And it is like, okay, what are you becoming aware of? And some part of it is, maybe you are also becoming aware of how capable you are. Okay, that you are capable. That whatever it is that has inspired you, whatever it is that has motivated you to work toward the life, the goals, whatever you're working toward, that it is worthwhile, that it is a match to you and for you. Okay. All right. So, what are you potentially revisiting? Transformation, death, shedding, okay, releasing. So part of this, I get lessons from the past. There could be something ancestral here. Anyone watching this, you're likely going to be aware of the ancestral clearing, generational clearing, ancestral healing, I should say. And generational healing. And so I get that's here also with this death energy, the underbelly of things, the ancestral lineages, that are also still, the past is going to have an influence on us one way or another, and that doesn't need to be something that is haunting. Yeah. So that's part of what I wanted to say. And in saying that, I feel that part of what you also could be realizing with this Six of Wands, because Wands is not just obviously the element of fire, life force, but spirit, is that your ancestors are walking with you. They're cheering you on, especially if you're that lone wolf type. Okay, so advice for a smooth full moon lunar eclipse. Boom, Father of Wands. You got some fiery stuff here, Virgo. So if you have any fire signs in your chart, that have an influence, like in the major aspects, especially, definitely check that one out. So hold the vision. Let your voice be heard, be commanding, but also methodical, thoughtful, purposeful in your actions, in your voice. Okay. Because as I said with kings, I said this for another sign, kings are not just going to step off their throne for anything, any reason. It's going to be about a guarantee, because there's risk involved. You're right. You know what I mean? Whatever the risk is, even if it's very minimal. Okay. And so that's where it's also engaging your sense of self confidence, looking at the bigger picture, pacing yourself, and taking the necessary aligned, inspired action accordingly toward that vision. Okay, so there's still a bit that shedding as you are going out of a planning mode or feeling mode or contemplation mode, really aligned in this active role here with that fire energy, very inspired and actively engaged. All right. What kind of break or downtime is your soul craving? Six of Pentacles. So we got Six of Wands, Six of Pentacles, 6 and 6, 66. Or six. Exchange, balance and harmony with give and take, with relationships, with now seeing your efforts developing. Okay. You want to see, you want to know, yeah, that what you're working toward, it's not for nothing, that you're going to be seeing not just results, but results that are going to be worthwhile. And we see that here with this Six of Pentacles. And so part of it is also giving yourself that sense of balance. And I'm also hearing, just kind of like as we wind this up, you get what you give. So what you put forth, guaranteed you're going to be seeing some sort of a payoff. And so as you can align your actions, okay, it's more than likely, because consistency and persistence, you cannot help but to see results. And even if you scattered your you know what I mean, you scattered yourself, you're going to see scattered results. And so align yourself and you'll see those aligned results. All right. So Virgo, don't forget to check out your moon rising Venus North nodes. Schedule your session with us. We're here for you, girlonamoon.com, 45-minute lives, pre recorded. You know what to do. Have a blessed and bright Virgo full moon lunar eclipse. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Virgo. Libra, Kapualani here with your girl and her moon. Virgo, full moon, lunar eclipse reading. So let's dive in. Let's see what we see. Spirit, what's coming through for Libra, this Virgo full moon, lunar eclipse. All right, your message from the universe, Libra. It's time to let go and move on. This is your message from spirit, from the universe. Libra, it's okay. Okay? If you've been dwelling, if you've been holding on, if you've been wondering, is it time? Yes, it is time. There's more out there for you. I don't want to say there are fish in, there's other fish in the sea, that old saying. So regardless, even if that the fish is a new job, if it's a relationship, if it's a new hobby, there's something here to where you are ready to explore greener pastures. All right, Libra, so give yourself that permission if you've been needing it, and otherwise, again, here it is. So what will be brought into your awareness, what's being brought into your awareness, what does bring you fulfillment? Look at this from the Eight of Cups. Remember, there's two cups more. There's still more to look forward into in life, and here it is, the Two of Cups. Look no further than within. Okay, first and foremost, um and if it is partnership, then this is about, very simply, the balance on a heart to heart level. Okay, so when you're clear about your own wants and needs and your ability to self fulfill, that's where everything else just falls into place, including just your own, right, with your own happiness, whether you're in a relationship or not. Right, so what are you potentially revisiting? Collaboration. Okay, there's something here for you, Libra. I don't know why, but this energy of connection and relationship seems to be coming up, and it doesn't necessarily even have to be about romantic relationships. It can be family, it can be friends, as you know, coworkers even. So this is having care and compassion also, is what I'm hearing. So Three of Pentacles, this could deal, again, it could be around your work, it could be teammates, it could deal, like, it could deal with your spouse, but just be about the dynamics of how you work together as a team. Okay, so there's something here, where whatever, maybe something wasn't working before, maybe you just kind of weren't on the same page as something, or maybe that was you, you're with what you used to want, and how maybe, we change, right, and getting clear in yourself, getting on the same page with yourself. Okay, so it can be different components of your own life, your own goals that you're bringing together now to make sense of things. Because sometimes we have different goals that seem to be in conflict, but then you look at it in a different way. It's like, oh, okay. So, I'm giving you these, there's all these different layers of messages and possibilities coming through here. Libras, hope it makes sense, but let's get you some advice for a smooth cycle. The High Priestess. All right. So pay attention to your intuition, because your intuition, you already know. All right. And the thing with the High Priestess is, I will know it when I see it. My intuition already has a lock onto what's gonna come, or what it is that's vibing, what's gonna potentially manifest. But I will know it when I see it. So until I see it, I'm just gonna sit right here. I'm just gonna wait patiently and watch. Okay, so something is unfolding here, and it's in your interest to strike when the opportunity arises, but not a moment sooner. Okay. All right. And a little bit of self discipline goes a long way in that being said. All right. What sort of vacation or downtime is your soul craving? Empress. Yeah, you want to really just fall back into that feminine energy. 3322. Wow. Wow. So 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, and 3 coming through, 3 and 2. If those numbers are significant for you in any which way, or maybe you can think about looking into those numbers, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, BB. I don't know that song. But yeah, you want to be in just that full Empress mode of being at ease. I feel a lot of self fulfillment here, a lot of self awareness. I also get an acceptance of a situation, but a knowing that it is temporary. Like whatever has not, if you are not yet seeing realizing, living the life that you desire. If you're kind of in this space of, yeah, I'm feeling like this Eight of Cups and I'm like kind of in this moving on space, just know that there is expansion, and it is about you being in receiver mode. Okay, you're going to be in that receiver mode, but there is definitely something potent here with these numbers. So like, let a girl know, right, if these numbers may have any kind of significance for you, if you're 23 or 32, whatever. Okay, so 33, 22. Hey, you feel me. But anyway, Libra, check out your rising, your moon, your Venus, your north nodes. Visit usgirlandhermoon.com. Schedule your consultation, whether it's a 45-minute live or a pre-recorded. We are here for you. But have a blessed and bright Virgo full moon lunar eclipse. It looks like it will be. So yeah, definitely be in that receiver mode. Manifestation through attraction for sure. Hello, Scorpio. Kapualani here with your girl and her moon. Uh, Virgo, full moon, lunar eclipse. I had to brace myself before I said all that. And look at that little bit of a jumper card for you, Scorpio, the Fool. So, Aquarius energy with the Fool, opening up to new life, new possibilities, being open to taking risks, right? Healthy risks at that, trying new things, letting go of the past. Okay, being in a space of renewal, of lightheartedness, of childlike wonder and abandon, where just heavier things, heavier moments, and elements aren't clinging to you. Okay, so let's see, Spirit, what's coming through for Scorpio? And look at that, another jumper card with the World. So we had the Fool and the World. Wow. Okay, like the start of the cycle, and then and then even a more expansion upon that. Something significant with a year. So if you're looking back, where were you this time last year? Okay, maybe there's some kind of cyclical pattern influencing you, Scorpio. But let's see, and let's get that message from the universe for you, Scorpio, to open things up. Six of Cups. Yeah, feel good vibes. Okay, nostalgia. Even with that full energy, childlike innocence, right? And with the Six of Cups, like I said, that word nostalgia, pastimes, feeling like a kid again, nurturing yourself emotionally by surrounding yourself with people, places, and experiences, even food, nutrition, right? Like soul food. So things that are going to be fueling you, feeding you on a soul level, connections, okay, like I said, experiences, even just if it's movies. So maybe there's a lot of stuff with the past that's around you, but it should be feel good vibes, or something even like a reboot on the familiar. Okay, and being able to experience things from the past, like as if you were a kid again. Ooh, I like that for you. So let's see what's being brought into your awareness. Death, wow, transformation, shedding. That's your energy, Scorpio. What's up here? We've got something deep going on here, babe. So this is you, okay? Your own nature that's arising in your own awareness, okay? So anything in the underbelly that you have not been dealing with, or maybe you have been but you've not been, like you can recognize something but we're not quite connecting to it. Does that make sense? So the connection is going to be happening here if it hasn't. Can't help it. The emotions here, the flow and the it's here. Okay. Um then and for sure things from the past. So you may have, like with loved ones especially, who have crossed over, Scorpio, friends or family that you're no longer in contact with or that you haven't been in touch with in quite some time, that could be weighing on you quite a bit at this time. All right. So, what are you going to be revisiting? That being said, the Hierophant. Okay, so the exchange of those energies. Are we going to reach out here? Are we re-establishing or establishing contact, whether that is spiritually with those ancestors and loved ones on the other side? Or again, like I said, friends, families, connections, even if there's, feel good networks or whatnot. um, that maybe need a bit, I don't know why, maybe a bit of mending, maybe need to put some work into something in terms of a connection relationship, you connecting to your own gifts and higher self, you understanding that there are resources, whether it is just going into a search engine, whether it is connecting to a mentor or a guide to connect you to the other side, connect you to those ancestors. Okay, if it's not you yourself, tapping into your own abilities. All right. Advice for a smooth full moon, lunar eclipse, the Emperor. Wow. So you're like stacked up here in terms of really being in the balance. I don't know why I had to come through that way, Scorpio. But we've got Aries, we've got Taurus energies just to point them out. Um, we're maintaining and sustaining the status quo when we see the Emperor. We're not afraid to upset the status quo if we have to with the Emperor. But the Emperor is more about protecting the empire, right? So we're looking at the long term influence. We're looking at the ripple effect of the actions today. We're looking back at the actions that we took, the past, the things that were said and done that led up to where we are here and now, right? And having that awareness, allowing for that awareness and learning from that, the wisdom of that is going to be influencing you, is what's being called forth, is what's being advised that you step into as you are looking to the future, as you are engaging your present moment. Okay, so there's some very clear stuff coming through here for you, Scorpios. I hope this is locking in. Okay, hope it's a lock. So let's see what kind of downtime your soul is craving. Eight of Cups. This Eight of Cups has been making the rounds, let me just tell you. Okay, so folks, be ready to move on here. You ready to move on. We're not gonna forget the past. We're not gonna, we'll just pour one for the homies here. Um, but we're not gonna forget. Okay, but emotionally, we're gonna move on. We're gonna take that love, we're gonna take those memories, we're gonna take those good times and those sad times and those bad times, and we're gonna transform that because we know how to do that because you are Scorpio, you're transforming that into something that we can work with. You're not necessarily saying, oh, we're gonna be turning lemon into lemonade right now. Maybe, okay, maybe. Maybe we do a whole other thing with those lemons. Lots of stuff we can do with them, right? Lemon pound cake, whatever. We got options, is the point. I feel with the message coming through from Spirit for you, Scorpio, in the breakdown today. So you hit me up, hit us up, let me know. Okay, let us know. But there's definitely something happening here on a very foundational level, core level for you, Scorpio. So, in any which way that we can be of service, let us know. Check out your Moon Rising Venus North nodes, of course, for some deeper insights. Girlonthemoon.com. Hook it up with that consultation. You know, we're here for you with a 45-minute live or the pre recorded, but we're here. All right. So, have a blessed one. Till next time. Sagittarius, hello, hello. How are you? Kapualani here with your girl and her moon. Virgo full moon, lunar eclipse reading already. Jumper card, Knight of Pentacles, Son of Pentacles. Take it slow, focus on the steady steps, persistence and consistency. Okay. Another jumper with that Page of Wands. So you might be feeling a little bit excited. Some new cycles opening up. Don't get lost in the details now, going back to that Knight of Pentacles. We want to get hands on. The Knight of Pentacles brings it home. So whatever it is that you're looking toward, there is no rush. You might be very excited. Maybe you're feeling a little bit impatient. You just want that horse to get running. Slow it down now. Okay? It may be advantageous for you to honor the flow. You might be excited and whatnot. Nobody's saying you can't be excited. Okay? Use this as a sample time. Taste test. All right? So, what do you need to hear from the universe? What's up, Sag? Two of Cups. All right. Okay. Heart healing. You could this does conjure connection on a romantic level, yes, falling in love with the self first and foremost. I always start everything from the inside out. So making sure that your check boxes internally are what you are focusing on first and foremost, whether or not you are in a relationship. Okay, whether or not you want to be in a relationship, that could be part of what's coming up right now. What does bring you happiness on just a basic level where your wants and needs are concerned. Maybe part of it also is acknowledging how you are in this space of like contentment. Okay, so you could be feeling quite content right now, Sagittarius. And if anything, maybe that's part of it also is the reflection from the universe kind of trying to mirror that back to you and saying, hey, look, look at the good, right? Because when we focus on that, we can't help but to co-create, manifest more of that, right? So when you have clarity from within, that's where, of course, the mirror, right, manifests likewise. So what is being brought into your awareness? That being said, how can we connect with this Two of Cups, Four of Cups? Look no further, answers right in front of you. Be in the delulu, be in love with life, be in love with yourself, and the rest will all fall into place. Not just because it's magic, but because your perception, your ability to lock into those opportunities, lock into those possibilities, therefore, those actionable steps will become clearer, and you will become more confident about taking them rather than second guessing, right? This is also going to bring you into a space of realizing, hey, you know what? Maybe there were those moments where I was kind of like grass is greener on the other side, because that's Four of Cups, like boredom, where you're just bored, you're playing with your food. You're busy looking at what's going on in the other table, what's going on in the other person's plate, instead of just focusing on what's going on in your plate. You know what I mean? So that's part of it as well, is recognizing the good that's already existing in your own life. You don't need to look any further because you already have it, right? And so I don't know, there's something here with gratitude, and there's also something here because the other thing that we notice is that this animal, right, is a rat, and rats are not associated generally with emotion, but with thought, with rationale, with thinking and intelligence. And so we're looking to emotional intelligence here. We're not trying to overthink things, we're not trying to over rationalize, we're just trying to see what's right in front of us, knowing that this too shall pass, knowing that other options, opportunities, and whatnot will pop up when it's that time, but otherwise we're good. Okay, let's see what you might be revisiting. Strength, yeah, I mean, part of it is like, look at that, you got a rose, right? You got a rose, it's cool, your needs are met. Okay, there may be certain things in the day to day where you're just doing this a little bit bored, right? But don't just be there and like you can't think your way out of a paper bag type thing, right? Put that rose in some water, hook yourself up, and go do something else. Nobody's telling you need to sit there, wait, and watch for that delivery to arrive. You put the order in, got the confirmation, it's telling you it's gonna arrive by such a date. You're gonna really sit there, wait, and watch for it to show. Just let it show up. Let it arrive. Okay? Whatever it is going on right now, your best bet is to enjoy the moment, and then whatever it is that you're waiting for, wishing for, wanting, it's going to show up. Okay, so advice for a smooth lunar cycle. That being said, death transformation, Leo energy, Scorpio energy, just as a reference. So yeah, don't drag anything out, don't stagnate. Notice where you are stagnating, whether or not you're stagnating, what you're ready to let go of, what you've been hanging on to. Okay, um change things up. A change will do you good, is what I'm getting. Okay, so I'm just gonna stick with that. What sort of downtime is your soul craving? The sun. So some Leo stuff here. If you got Leo, then for sure there's something coming through here speaking to you, Sag. All right, so with this solar energy, there's gonna be clarity. So get out of the dark into the light. All right, whatever has been kind of more on an emotional level that you haven't quite been in a position to put into words, this is where we're transforming it. There's something that's been happening in the underbelly, and maybe it's that you can't quite put in, you know what I'm saying, it's just like a flavor you can't quite put into words what it is, right? It's becoming clear, something that you kind of was a mystery, a question mark. Even I don't know why, but this kind of makes me think about those misconnections. You're like, oh man, there was this person waiting in line and blah blah blah. Were you that person? Like, oh no no, what's the let put it out there, right? Don't hide in the shadow. Put something out there, do what needs to be done, let the universe take care of the rest, and it will be realized. There's something here about being in the Lulu, being in the joy, and whatever it, because there's something where the actions are beyond you right now. So all you can do is just kind of like put it out there into the universe, live your life, make yourself happy, and let the rest fall into place, just for now. All right, Sagittarius. But till then, hook it up. We're here for you. We will hook it up. Girlandandmoon.com, 45-minute live, pre-recorded session. Don't forget to also check out your rising moon, Venus North nodes, as well, deeper insights. But otherwise, Sagittarius, have a blessed and bright Virgo full moon, lunar eclipse. Capricorn, what is up? Kapualani here with your girl and her moon, full moon, Virgo full moon, that is, lunar eclipse. So Capricorn, let's see what we see. What's coming through for Capricorn spirit? Thank you. All right, your message from the universe. Capricorn, we need to hear things are in transition. Okay, focus on what's ahead. This is time to look forward to what's ahead. And you may also be feeling that way, where you're not having to look back over your shoulder, you're not having to argue to get your point across, you're not having to fight to be heard, you're not having to feel conflicted in your own thoughts, you're not having to come at things with this win at any cost type of mentality. We're having to kind of like look at all the different angles to get 5 steps ahead of whoever, whatever, excuse me, whatever. Easy breezy here. Okay, beautiful cover girl. 6 of Swords. So yeah, things are moving forward. There could be thoughts, contemplations, plans, or considerations which related to travel or relocation potentially. But either way, good times are ahead. When we see the 6 of Swords, generally it speaks to, the conflict is over. We're moving ahead. We're moving on. So, what's being brought into your awareness, your attention? Mother of Swords, a bit of indifference. Don't get caught up in your thoughts. Detach. See people, places, and such for what they are. Okay, for who they are, for what they are. Understand your limits and boundaries. Be clear about the details without getting caught up in them. Don't be afraid to say what needs to be said. Sometimes it sucks. The truth isn't always easy to hear, but the Queen of Swords, the Mother of Swords, um knows how to put things, okay, even if it is a difficult situation. But overall, we're gaining a higher vantage point. We're seeing things from a higher perspective, a more expansive perspective, but yet still detailed is the thing. Okay. um and there's also like a detachment, in terms of how you're seeing things. All right, not being cold, cut off or anything like that, but again, just seeing people, places, experiences for what they are. Okay, what are you potentially revisiting? 5 of Pentacles. So maybe you had a downshift. Maybe you weren't really feeling at the top of your game. Maybe feeling a little bit left out, down and out. Maybe things weren't going so well financially, or on a career level, or potentially on a physical health level. Okay, so a little bit of that recovery that's still having an influence here. And the encouragement with the 5 of Pentacles is that downshift. It is about focusing on your strengths rather than your weaknesses. Focus on what is working for you rather than what's not working for you. Okay. And to put the effort into those steps, into those experiences, and so forth. Okay, taking that time to slow down in order to just kind of regroup, in other words. Okay, and not giving up, but again, pacing yourself, if not even, if downshifting, if you have to. But this is also something that you're shifting out of. So let's get you some advice for a smooth full moon cycle, lunar eclipse. Pace yourself. Keep going. Don't give up. With the Knight of Pentacles, this individual brings it home out of all of the knights. Doesn't arrive the fastest or the first, may not arrive the fastest or the first, but arrives nonetheless. Okay? So the journey continues here. And this is also like, that's where I feel that this Mother of Swords or Queen of Swords limits, knowing that I said this earlier, know your limits. Okay, understand the parameters of what you're working within, see the bigger picture. It's kind of like when you're have the directions on your phone and it has a zoom out and you can see the map, like we're traveling. You're not, you can go down on the road, you know what I mean, and see where you are there, but then you zoom out and see how far you are from the destination, kind of thing, sort of like that. Okay, but the point is that you keep going, you keep showing up, you keep doing. May not be able to go full speed ahead, you may not have the setup that you might like, but keep going is the point. Okay, what sort of break is your soul craving? You want that result, you want that solid answer, beginning, step, coin in your hand, whatever it is. You want that payday. You don't want to just be putting in this effort for nothing, right? You have to be working towards something. As the Ace of Pentacles here. And I see that also we can look at that as your alchemist, where there is a new beginning. Okay? There is a new possibility, an opportunity. It's nice that we're seeing this Knight of Pentacles with the Ace of Pentacles, because it brings back and locking. I've said these words earlier, but consistency and persistence. So, how things are kind of shaping up right now, it is about embracing the bigger picture, the fact that you are on a journey. And mentally, though, things should be in a much easier space, especially if physically you're having to go slower, and things may not, you know what I mean, you're not feeling as like woo energized. Okay, but otherwise, Capricorn, check out your rising moon Venus north nodes, and we're here for you to schedule your consultation, girlonthemoon.com, for a 45-minute live or pre-recorded. You know what to do. But have a blessed full moon lunar eclipse. Till next time. Aquarius, what's up? Kapualani here with your girl and her moon. Virgo full moon lunar eclipse. So let's see what's coming through for you, Aquarius. What's up, Spirit? What's coming through for Aquarius? All right. Your message from the universe. Aquarius, the Fool. Let go, let flow, leave the past behind. Focus on being present to the moment and enjoy yourself. Yeah, Aquarius, enjoy yourself. This is you showing up front and center in your own reading, so you should be feeling pretty good. You should be feeling rather centered and confident in yourself, or at least where things are heading. And you should be feeling things picking up. Okay, so be ready for that and open to that sort of kind of, I don't know, I'm hearing like pick me up kind of vibe. What will this woman be bringing to your awareness? The moon in, whoa, this is crazy, Aquarius. Are you seeing this? Here's you, Aquarius, and then the moon in terms of what is being brought into your awareness with this lunar cycle. Hello. The moon in of itself, that not everything is as it seems. So while you may be feeling um a bit go with the flow and open to taking risks and that sort of thing, this moon here is this moon is here to remind you, I should say, that not everything is as it may seem. As I was saying, trust your instincts. Okay, get grounded. um Understand that things are very much temporary and in a state of transition right now, transformation possibly, but definitely transition. So take it slow and don't rush. This is again a time to trust your senses. And so, it's okay, right? Because you're showing up with that full energy. If you stumble and fall, it's all good. We dust ourselves off and pick ourselves up and keep going on here. But just realize that, you're navigating through some unknowns. It's kind of like, I don't know, for those of you who are not quite the old school with Mr. Magoo, the cartoon, but Mr. Magoo's that person, he's just kind of like do 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 do, and things are like falling apart around him, but he just kind of gets away unscathed. It feels not exactly like that, but almost like that. I feel like there's a little bit more of a warning in terms of watching where you're going. So what are you potentially revisiting? Yeah, protection, Emperor. Watch where you're going. Be mindful of who you're sharing what with. You may be feeling very open and receptive right now, but it's not. I would err on the side of not maybe sharing all of your thoughts and plans and ideas just yet. Um, because it could be that there are people that are watching what you're doing, listening to what you're doing, that want to copy what you're doing. I wouldn't just say that because it's like, who wants to think about that kind of stuff? But that's just what I'm getting right now. Okay. And so you got to lean into your more authoritative, wise self, because this is the elder energy here with the emperor versus the fool, the child. Okay. So you may be feeling like you're in the clear. Maybe that's the part of it that's needing to come through right now. As Aquarius, you might feel like you're in the clear, like la di da, it's all good, nothing, go away unscathed. Not quite yet. Okay, I don't want to freak you out or anything, but you may be have gotten into the in the clear from something, but that doesn't mean that you can don't take your good graces for granted, is all I'm gonna say. And please forgive me because I don't mean to come across foreboding. I don't like that kind of vibe. People are like, well, like, look, watch where we're going. But I'm also not gonna glaze it over, okay? And then wish that I had said something differently. So let's give you some advice here. Dot dependent. That's why I said stay grounded. You can stay chill, but stay woke, okay? Because the creeping, like, seriously. Yeah. So stay grounded. There is a new cycle. Open up to the new cycles. And here's the thing. I don't want you to be paranoid. There's no reason to be paranoid, but it is more like, while this is a new beginning and you are being encouraged to open up to stuff and to be excited and be exploratory, we're still in this fawn duckling phase, so you're not wanting to venture too far from home or too outside of in the unfamiliar. Don't go too wandering off into the unknown. Okay, stay within the meadow of the familiar for now. It's not forever, but trust what you know about, like, previous experiences. Like, yeah, I'm gonna move somewhere new, blah blah blah, and you take it for granted where you don't really know what that community is like, and then you realize after the fact, oh, I thought that this everybody was just chill, but this isn't really as chill as I thought it was. Like, you know what I mean? So explore. Don't plant roots yet. Explore. Okay? Take a flashlight with you. What is what sort of vacation is your soul craving? Yeah, Nine of Wands. There's something here where there's still some lessons that you're learning and moving through. There's still one, you got to, don't go full steam ahead right now. Okay, look at these crescent moons and even this eclipse. There's still some unknowns here. You are not well armed or prepared to deal with those unknowns. It's not to say that someone's going to just jump out and attack you, but what it's saying is realize the vulnerable position that you're in, because you know how to operate from that level of knowing that you have limits, knowing that you are vulnerable. I have a new beginning here. I'm excited. I'm allowed to be excited. I'm allowed to not have certain responsibilities. But I also know that I need to gain some experiences before I can just go at top speed. I might have the willingness, okay? But I haven't quite found my grip yet on the thing. That's what it is. It's kind of like going from a scooter to like a Ducati. I don't know if you know what like a Ducati is with the motorcycles. Like, what? You know what I mean? So that's where it's just like we got slow our roll. We still have to graduate from the thing first. We're still at the 9, right? We haven't gone through 10 and then the 1 again. We feel like this, but because we're almost there, okay? But this, like, don't rush it. Be prepared. Close out that cycle because you can and will do it, but be gentle with yourself. All right. So that being said, Aquarius, check out your rising moon, Venus North nodes. set up your consultation with us. We're here for you, girlonthemoon.com. You know, we've got those live 45 minutes readings or the pre-recordeds, but otherwise have a blessed full moon lunar eclipse. Hello Pisces, Kapualani here with your girl and her moon, Virgo full moon lunar eclipse reading. So let's dive in. Let's see what we see, Pisces. All right, what's coming through for Pisces spirit? What's coming through for Pisces this Virgo full moon lunar eclipse? Thank you, spirit. Thank you, Pisces. Your message from the universe, what you need to hear, Pisces. Four of Cups. It is what it is. Okay, situation is what it is. And you know, maybe part of it also is realize when you might just be feeling a little bit possibly restless, maybe a little bit bored, and therefore, like, you know, just ask yourself, you know, are you looking at the glass half empty or half full, for one thing? And part of this also comes down to, you know, what is it going to take for you to feel satisfied? You know, what does satisfaction, when is enough enough? Is one of those questions, all right, where you might be over. And also the other thing, don't over analyze things. Okay, part of the benefit to the Four of Cups is to be in the delulu. So when it comes to manifesting, right, if you're a little bit underwhelmed or unsatisfied with your current situation, then it's what you make of it, as it's said, right? It's what you make of it. So let's see what this lunar eclipse full moon is bringing to your awareness. Mother of Swords, detachment. Get out of your head. Get out of your head. And again, part of it is you just gotta see situation, people. Sorry, I didn't mean to say situation twice. Sounded like a little matrix glitch there. Maybe that's something to it. But people, places, experiences, and situations for what it is. Understand your boundaries. Get out of your head. Get out of your head. Something gives me the sense that you maybe, you know, if, and please forgive me, because this is, you know, if you're in a position where you're, you know, the bills are paid, everything's good, you know, for the most part, when it comes to your basic needs of food, shelter, safety, security, this is telling me that maybe you just are a little too smart for your own good and are a little bit bored and intellectually needing some stimulation. I think you need some intellectual stimulation here. Okay, so what are you potentially revisiting? You got to channel that energy. You're revisiting being okay with the Mother of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, getting hands on, being satisfied, the Queen sitting at the throne. It's like you have everything that you need. So what's missing, right? What is missing? And in this case, it's chalices. This is boredom. It's emotional, right? Don't let your thoughts get the best of you. Okay, and if anything, what are your thoughts? Let them be joyful, right? Instead of nitpicking, if that's the case. Okay. And so the revisitation again with the Queen of Pentacles is focusing on your priorities, your own health and security, wellness and well-being. And again, like I said earlier, right? Are your basic needs met of food, shelter, safety, security, and all that stuff? Great. Then what's the problem? Okay. Advice for a smooth full moon lunar eclipse. Ha! House, home, family, friends. You want that emotional stimulation and connection. And so part of it is conjuring that in your own life, in your own world, in your own way. Okay? It may be that you are wanting and seeking emotional connection through community, and there's nothing wrong with that. So create that. Have a get together, you know, do something. And if you are more of the loner type, then do something to where you are recognizing and utilizing your home as a sanctuary. Your home is that space, right, of celebration and comfort, of harmony. Put on some good music, make some good food. This is a time for you to just appreciate the joy in life, and that you are, you know, you've got you for the most part, right? Like I said, if everything else is taken care of, then that, what else do you need? you know. So it really is about the joy and the fulfillment that's being experienced in the home, and what you're able to share, because more than anything, 10 isn't, 10 of cups especially is an energy of sharing, right? Sharing and community. All right, what sort of downtime is your soul craving, Pisces? Yeah, connection. Also, moving forward, maybe you're wanting to travel, vacation, with the lovers. There can be expansion, there can be movement. There may, if anything, the bigger thing with the lovers is up leveling. There could also be connection to commitment. Um, I feel that this, I wouldn't necessarily say this, but I get something with working together. When things come together, and even if this is just the focus on you internally, it's your own feminine and masculine energy. So this is really all about you being in a position where you know that you are the creator of your own happiness, you are the creator of your own joy and fulfillment. So this is you stepping into that creator role in a self-empowering kind of way. All right. So this is you like making lemonade. I said this earlier. Sometimes I'm like, there's other things that you can make with lemons and not just lemonade. I don't know. I said that earlier, but this is really recognizing where you are the creator of your own reality, and it's up to you to make your house a home type thing, or to you know what I'm trying to say? To bring yourself that joy, to bring yourself that fulfillment, to make it so. All right, especially if you're kind of feeling unstimulated or like underwhelmed, as I was saying earlier. This is about the joy and the connection. Okay, so I hope that that's helped, Pisces. Check out your other aspects, your rising moon, Venus, North nodes. Schedule your session with us. We're here for you, girlonthemoon.com, with your 45-minute live or pre-recorded session. But otherwise, have a blessed and bright Virgo full moon lunar eclipse. Till next time, take care and thanks for being here.